Now, following Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Bhutan, where he pledged India's support during his first trip abroad, the Bhutan Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay has said that there is no question of a Chinese embassy in Bhutan, a clear snub to China, which has been trying to make inroads in the region.
The last 2 days have been very hectic for the Prime Minister of Bhutan, Mr. Tshering Tobgay. Mr. Narendra Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, has been here and they've had a hectic but a very warm time. Let me start straight away with asking you, sir, what is your biggest takeaway from the visit?
Friendship. Celebration of friendship. We had a lovely 2 days. We were honored and humbled that the Prime Minister of the largest democracy in the world, one of the biggest countries in the world, one of the most populous countries in the world, chose Bhutan as his maiden visit abroad. You mentioned that it has been hectic. We didn't notice. We've been so busy welcoming our guest and all of us so busy celebrating that we didn't notice. In hindsight, I suppose, when you welcome a guest, you put in some hard work. But when the guest is welcome with open hearts, open minds and open arms, you don't notice the hard work.
What have you taken away from it? Expectations from the people of Bhutan, some of them, have they been met?
As I said earlier, the takeaway is friendship. The importance of friendship, the value of friendship, the genuineness of friendship, and the fact that India and Bhutan, Bhutan and India have celebrated friendship for decades, and that friendship is still not just on sound foundations, but we can expect it to grow from strength to strength.
Strategic issues, were they discussed? What were the issues discussed? And most importantly, China, was that discussed at all?
We had broad-ranging discussions, and it goes without saying that we are strategic partners as we share common strategic and security interests. We didn't go into detail.
So China?
We share neighbors. China is our neighbor, as indeed like India is our neighbor. China is a reality. We didn't discuss China. We engage with China. We are good neighbors. And our engagement is dominated by trying to resolve and demarcate the boundary that we share with them.
Is that an issue? Lately we've been hearing about PLA incursions into Bhutan. Is that of real concern to you?
The boundary issue is a concern. As a small country, we must resolve and demarcate our border.
Is there any truth to a lot of talk about the Chinese government opening an embassy in Thimphu?
We don't even have diplomatic relations. How can you open an embassy without diplomatic relations? And as far as Bhutan is concerned, as far as my government is concerned, we want to resolve the boundary issue before taking any new steps.
So no question, even if China wants to do so?
I answered your question.
Thank you. One more point that I would like to ask about is, Mr. Modi, one of the most telling comments he made in Parliament yesterday was, a strong India is good for the neighborhood, a weak India is not. Do you think it was a message not just to Bhutan, but also the rest of the SAARC countries, the neighborhood?
It was a message to the SAARC region and a profound message to the world.
To the world as well?
I think so. India is a global power. India will assume its rightful place in the Committee of Nations.